Well, Merry Christmas, everybody. This week, this is the week we've been waiting for, all of Advent. And I have two fantastic stories. First one, my all-time favorite. This is a book I got my daughter when she was little, and I have read it every single year since then. It's called The Tiny Star. Some of you have probably heard this already because I've done it for Sunday school and that kind of stuff before. But like I've always said, a good story is worth hearing more than once. All right, here we go. A very long time ago, there was a tiny star named Starlet. She was so small, she could hardly be seen. All the other stars were much bigger and brighter than Starlet. At night, when people looked up at the sky, they saw all the big, bright stars. But no one ever saw a starlet. One night, Starlet asked the other stars if there was some way she could twinkle and sparkle like them. But the stars just laughed and said, "Oh no, Starlet, you are far too small." Starlet felt very sad, and she began to cry. "No one will ever see me," she said. "I wish I were bigger." Later that night, the wise old moon looked at Starlet. "Why are you so sad?" he asked. "Because," said Starlet, "I try to twinkle and sparkle, but I'm the smallest star in the sky, and no one ever sees me." "Don't be sad," said the old moon gently. "How big or small you are is not important. Someday, somewhere, someone will see you." "But when?" asked Starlet. The moon smiled and said, "Someday, somewhere," and he went on his way. Many years passed. Night after night, Starlet shone, but no one ever saw her. Then one night, Starlet began to fall from the sky. Down, down, down she fell. Starlet landed gently on the roof of a little stable. Everything was dark and quiet. The only sounds she heard were those of the animals. Then Starlet heard a baby crying. Starlet looked inside the stable and saw a newborn baby lying in a manger. "Oh," she cried, "this stable is so cold and dark. Perhaps I can shine enough to brighten it up." So Starlet moved closer to the baby, and when the baby saw Starlet and felt the warmth of her gentle rays, he began to smile. The more the baby smiled, the brighter Starlet shone. The whole stable glowed. It was a miracle. As Starlet grew bigger, she began to rise up, up, up into the sky, higher and higher, brighter and brighter. Starlet was now the brightest star in the sky. Everyone saw the magnificent star. This is the moment she had always wished for. And on that special night, shining over the little stable in Bethlehem, Starlet was the most beautiful star the world had ever seen. Well, Starlet, she started out pretty small and tiny, but boy, did she grow. You guys are all a little smaller right now, but you're going to grow too. And someday, somewhere, you are going to be as special as Starlet is. Your gifts will come through, just like Starlet's did. All right, I have one more story for you. And yes, it's a Christmas story. It's called "'Twas the Evening of Christmas." 'Twas the evening of Christmas when all through the town every inn was so crowded no room could be found. Tired Mary and Joseph, who went door to door, at last found a place on a small stable floor. "Thank goodness," said Mary, who tiptoed inside. "The mice saw the donkey and scurried to hide. The rest of the creatures all cuddled up tight in hopes that they might have a calm, peaceful night." The pigeons were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of breadcrumbs danced round in their heads. The cows closed their eyes, and the oxen lay down. The doves cooed so gently, and the lambs made no sound. The moon through the trees was just starting to glow, with a glimmer of light on the stable below, when quite by surprise came a newborn babe's cry that woke all the animals sleeping nearby. Up jumped the cows and the oxen and sheep. Up popped the pigeons, aroused from their sleep. They all came to gaze at the small baby boy as his mama and papa hugged him with joy. Now donkeys, now cows, now pigeons and sheep, now oxen and mice in the manger did peep. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples so sweet, as they nuzzled his fingers and cute little feet. And out in the field taking care of their sheep, some shepherds were just getting ready to sleep, when all of a sudden they had such a fright, a whole choir of angels lit up the night. But the song of the angels, the words that they said, soon let the men know they had nothing to dread. "Dear shepherds, it's wonderful news that we bring. A Savior is born. He is Jesus, the King." They ran to the stable and peeked through the door and saw something never imagined before. There, in a manger, a baby boy lay. No blankets, no pillow, his bed made of hay. And to that small stable came 3 special kings with gifts for the baby, all beautiful things. They jumped from their camels and knelt at his feet with frankincense, gold, and myrrh that smelled sweet. The stable was filled with wonderful light, as stars above Bethlehem twinkled so bright. And high in the heavens God whispered, "My son, you'll bring hope to the world and love to everyone." Then back to their slumbers the animals curled, amazed at this babe who had entered their world. As Mary and Joseph got ready for bed, they snuggled their baby and kissed his sweet head. As Mary laid Jesus asleep in the hay, she thought about all that had happened that day. The mice heard her whisper as she tucked him in tight. "Merry Christmas, my son, and to all a good night." Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope and pray that you all have the best Christmas you've ever had, and that God blesses all of your families joyfully. I will see you next week. Bye, gang.